Here's your wrestling news for November 25th, 2020. And your headlines for today include why WWE filed a new trademark for Dean Ambrose. Adam Pearce apologizes to Drew McIntyre for calling him Drew McInfrt on Raw. Impact Wrestling plan to bring back AJ Styles is finally revealed. WWE indefinitely suspends Braun Strowman. Strowman strongly reacts. A huge botch that was missed on WWE Raw this week. Drew McIntyre busts a myth about former WWE champion Randy Orton. 2 former WWE wrestlers returned to Impact Wrestling. Wrestler tweets about quitting life, legitimate concern from fans. Nidia reveals how Batista treated her during her original run in WWE. Mandy Rose provides update while rehabbing injury. WWE Hall of Famer Kurt Angle is back in training. WWE has no card figured out for TLC yet, and more. We are kicking off with some WWE trademark news, and though usually the trademark is a term currently used on TV or a nickname for a new superstar, the latest filing by the company has certainly turned heads. On October 8th, WWE filed a trademark for the term Dean Ambrose, and on Sunday, this filing was approved by the US Patent and Trademark Office, making the name officially WWE's intellectual property. The Ambrose name was a trademark under WWE for a long time, but it expired in August this year. And though the USPTO gave them an extension to file for renewal, WWE reportedly decided against it. It's also been reported that WWE asked Jon Moxley, the former Dean Ambrose, to sign a consent form for the trademark as he hasn't been using the name since his WWE departure in 2019. Given that Moxley is currently in AEW and also the company's world champion, we doubt that this trademark means he'll be coming back to WWE anytime soon, but it seems that Dean Ambrose's name lives on in WWE in some way. Over to Raw next, and Adam Pearce had a rough time on Monday night, as he wasn't just attacked by Braun Strowman, but also came up with an unfortunate nickname for Drew McIntyre. Whilst addressing the process to determine the #1 contender for the WWE title, Pearce called the champion Drew McInfrt, a slip-up that fans online quickly noticed. On Twitter, Pearce apologized for the botch, saying that McInfrt is clearly a champion of a much more flatulent sport. Hopefully, Pearce will be able to avoid slip-ups like this in the future, as the last thing we need is Randy Orton, AJ Styles, or Matt Griddle on Raw, and we'll chalk up this botch to Pearce being shaken up by Strowman's attack. Speaking of Raw, AJ Styles has made it clear that he doesn't plan on going back to Impact Wrestling, but that hasn't stopped the company from teasing his return. Recently, the Good Brothers, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, have talked about a phenomenal one returning, but it wasn't actually Styles who appeared. As first reported by Fightful Select and later confirmed on their programming, Hornswoggle was the phenomenal opponent and was dressed and acting like the former TNA World Champion. This is part of the Good Brothers' ongoing feud with the North, as recently Ethan Page of the North spoke to Scott D'Amore about a possible tag team match against the Good Brothers. It was Carl Anderson who said that Page will have to face a phenomenal opponent, and AJ Swoggle actually got the win thanks to some poor officiating by the ref, as Page noted on Twitter that his shoulder was up during the pin. It's worth noting that Page's contract with Impact ends next month, and the North aren't any closer to regaining their tag titles. Clearly, Styles isn't going back to Impact, but his persona is, and we'll have to see what Impact Wrestling has planned for this parody of one of their greatest ever stars. Back to WWE now, and Braun Strowman was escorted out of the Thunderdome during this week's Raw, and now fans shouldn't expect to see him back. After putting his hands on WWE official Adam Pearce, Strowman has been suspended indefinitely, though this is of course in storyline. Dave Meltzer has reported that the Monster Among Men is penciled in to face Drew McIntyre at TLC on December 20th, despite the triple threat on next week's Raw between AJ Styles, Keith Lee, and Riddle, which will reportedly determine Drew's next challenger. If you think that Strowman attacking Adam Pearce wasn't exactly becoming of one of WWE's top babyfaces, you'd be right, as on Wrestling Observer Radio, Meltzer noted that the company is turning Braun heel once again to make the match with McIntyre happen. On Twitter, Strowman continued his heel turn, saying that everyone knows he deserves a title opportunity, and using the hashtags "I'm done following orders" and "everyone will fall." As of right now, Strowman isn't booked to be in next week's Triple Threat #1 contender match, but we doubt Adam Pearce and an indefinite suspension will be able to stop the monster among men for long. This week's Raw also saw a match featuring The New Day versus The Hurt Business, though not everything went according to plan. According to Bryan Alvarez on Wrestling Observer Live, the finish of this tag match was meant to be much different. As he explained, "I was told that the finish of the match was supposed to be that the Hurt Business would win via countout, but they're supposed to call it like a shoot, and they didn't get in the ring fast enough, and so the referee called it a double countout. Then The New Day, for some reason, were all heelish last night. They start backing up the ramp celebrating that they defended the titles via double countout, and MVP, the heel, cuts the promo saying, 'The fans don't want to see this, you're not going to take that, are you? Get back in this ring and let's restart it.' So yes, it was a botch, but it wasn't like a big-time botch. It was just one guy who didn't get back in, so instead of a normal countout, it was a double countout." It's certainly strange that The New Day, two of the most beloved babyfaces in recent history, would act so heelish, and though they were able to pull things together, this is what happens when you're on live TV. More from the Red Brand next, and Drew McIntyre is once again WWE Champion after dethroning Randy Orton on last week's Raw, the same man who ended his first run with the title. While speaking to Sports Illustrated, McIntyre spoke about their feud and his recent title win and busted a myth about working with the 14-time WWE World Champion. He said, "I still hear how Randy doesn't want to get too physical or take too many bumps. So for anyone that thinks he's soft in the ring, that's just not true. He went above and beyond to make me look as good as possible. We both worked our butts off, and I'm very proud of that match." An 18-year veteran of WWE, Orton has faced practically every big name, from Hulk Hogan to Shawn Michaels, and given some of the wars he's been in, including 8 Hell in a Cell matches, it's clear that he's not afraid to get physical. Now, Impact Wrestling is bringing back their Knockouts Tag Team titles, and Jordynne Grace has found herself a partner. On this week's Impact, it was revealed that former WWE and NWA star Jazz will be teaming with Grace after retiring from the ring last month. This may be a one-off deal for Jazz to appear in the tournament to crown new Knockouts Tag Champions, but perhaps the offer was too good to pass up, and she isn't the only big name to be a part of the tournament. Former NXT UK superstar Killer Kelly has also answered the call, as she'll team with Renee Michelle, aka Renee Maverick, and Kelly made her Impact debut by facing another former NXT superstar, Kimber Lee. Kelly has said she plans to stay in the US until around December, and we'll have to see how all teams do in their quest to be the next Knockouts Tag Team Champions. We've got some concerning news from Impact next, as Kiera Hogan recently shared some tweets that have fans worried. As part of her 4 tweets, which were sent in rapid succession, Kiera spoke about wanting to run away and said she was quitting life and that she's dead to the world. Hogan added that she was turning her phone off, and we certainly hope her mood improved when she turned it on and saw a flood of messages with support. We don't know what's happening in Kiera's life to make her feel this way, but we're certainly sending our best wishes to such a talented wrestler who's seemingly going through a rough time. Over to AEW, as Arn Anderson is a true legend in wrestling and has been part of some classic moments throughout history, but there's one segment AA doesn't want fans to remember. On his podcast, Arn spoke about a segment that saw Stone Cold Steve Austin urinate on the Horseman, something that Arn wasn't too pleased with at the time. He said, "You know what popped up in my head when they said we want Austin to pee on over you? My wife and kids. But that's the reason why I did it, and did it smiling. That's who I'm responsible for. People may think that's not true, but everything I've done in this business, every sacrifice I've made, every time I've had guys come to me that I respect and say, 'You don't have to do that, you're Arn Anderson, you don't have to do that,' just tell them no. I did what was requested to take care of my family. That's my first responsibility on this earth." Anderson worked with WWE backstage for a long time before his move to AEW, and now he's part of Cody Rhodes' entourage, and has fortunately avoided any segments like this one. Now, former WWE superstar Nidia recently said she has no plans to return to wrestling, and now she's spoken more about her tenure in the company. Speaking to Fightful recently, the former Tough Enough winner spoke about a time when Batista took her aside to let her know that many superstars thought she was disrespectful, though Nidia defended herself, saying that she was nervous. Nidia went on to thank Batista for helping her learn the unwritten rules of wrestling, and said that though the Dudley Boys were rough on her at first, they too came around. It's well known that there are certain unwritten rules in wrestling, such as shaking everyone's hand backstage, and it's good that Batista was able to explain things to Nidia before things got out of hand. back to the present, and though The Undertaker gave his final farewell at Survivor Series, that won't be the last time he's in the ring, and now you can join the dead man. WWE and Omaze have announced a once-in-a-lifetime chance to meet The Undertaker at the Performance Center, with people wishing to enter the contest, which will end on February 24th, able to do so by donating to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. One person who's no stranger to the Performance Center is Mandy Rose, who's given an update while rehabbing her injury. On social media, the Golden Goddess shared a picture of her rehabbing her shoulder, which was injured when she landed awkwardly on it, and hopefully it won't be long until Rose, who was pulled from Survivor Series, is back in the ring. Speaking of training, Kurt Angle is back training, sparking rumors of some kind of in-ring return. Online, the Olympian seems to be in the best shape of his life and said it feels good to be able to train hard. And we'll have to see if Angle does have one last match, especially after rumors went out that Impact wanted him for Bound for Glory. We're looking ahead to WWE TLC next, as with the show less than a month away, the company has a lot of work to do. During Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer revealed that there's no card at all right now for the December 20th pay-per-view, except for the WWE title match between Drew McIntyre and Braun Strowman. It's ironic that the only match planned is the one that Adam Pearce has ruled out happening, and fans will have to wait and see what matches make it to the final pay-per-view of 2020. Whilst WWE may not have plans for TLC, AEW has plans for this Wednesday, as a new match has been announced for Dynamite. It's been confirmed that Hangman Page will face John Silver this week in an episode already taped so the roster and crew can have Thanksgiving off. Also slated for this week's show is AEW Women's Champion Hikaru Shida defending against Anna Jay, and Chris Jericho and Jake Hager versus the SCU in what will be another stacked episode of AEW Dynamite. Now, it's no secret that Vince McMahon is an eccentric individual, and few people know this better than former WWE writer Court Bauer. During his Talk is Jericho appearance, the two touched on their former boss and spoke about how McMahon deals with celebrities who appear in WWE. He said, "Vince, whenever he would work with a celebrity or a writer, he would say, 'Just hit me. Go for it. Don't hesitate to hit me. Don't make it look fake. Don't worry. I'm not going to get upset if you tag me. I potato everyone all the time, so don't worry about it.'" He wanted it to look real rather than it not look credible. There's been no shortage of celebrities who have wrestled in WWE, and it's funny to think at one point or another they all had to take a shot at the boss. And we're ending with some Undertaker news, as the dead man is seemingly retired for good this time, and one of his old opponents wishes him well. On Twitter, Hulk Hogan sent out his own congratulations to the dead man, and added that he was the one who helped get the Phenom a job in WWE, as he said he was the one who told the future Phenom that Vince McMahon wanted to speak with him whilst they were both on set for Suburban Commando. It's quite a claim from the Hulkster, though it's worth noting that Suburban Commando started filming in September 1990, mere weeks before the Phenom's Survivor Series debut, and it's possible WWE already knew of him due to his WCW tenure. Perhaps the dead man himself will speak one day on whether Hogan's claim is true, but for now, the Hulkster is sticking to his story.